Hey everyone! Welcome back to the English Leap Podcast, your go-to English podcast for learning English and leveling up your life. I'm Erin.
And I'm Evan. If you've ever felt like starting over, but had no idea where to begin, this one's for you.
Let's be real. Sometimes you don't want to fight, explain, or post about it. You just want to disappear. Quietly. No drama, no warning. Just leave the old version of you behind and come back with a fire no one saw coming.
Exactly. We're not talking about vanishing forever. We're talking about stepping back to rebuild, to cut ties with noise, expectations, and everything that's been weighing you down, and then returning stronger, calmer, unshakably focused.
I know that feeling. A few years ago, I hit a point where I didn't even recognize myself anymore. So I vanished from social media, stopped explaining myself, and started healing in silence. And when I came back, even my friends said, "Something about you feels different."
That's what this episode is about. Disappearing not as an escape, but as a strategy. For healing, for clarity, for transformation. So if you're feeling the urge to step back, this is your permission slip and your roadmap.
And if you're learning English while going through your own transformation, don't worry, we've got you. We've made a free PDF for this episode with grammar practice, comprehension questions, and all the key takeaways. You'll find it in the description.
Also, stick around until the end because Charlotte will be joining us for her vocabulary breakdown. She's breaking down the trickier words from today's talk. So even if you hear something new, don't worry, she's got your back.
All right, let's begin. This journey starts with one of the most powerful steps of all, the power of walking away quietly.
You know, in a world where everything is loud, people are louder. We're taught that strength means staying, proving, explaining. But sometimes the real strength is choosing to walk away without a word.
Yes, people often think transformation has to be loud or dramatic, but it's not. True change begins when you step out of the noise and into stillness. You don't grow when everyone's watching. You grow when no one is.
Exactly. Think of a seed. It grows under the soil, in the dark, in silence, before anyone ever sees a single leaf. That's what this phase is. When you walk away from distractions, comparison, judgment, your roots start growing.
Right. Walking away is not about being passive or weak. It's about reclaiming your peace. Think of it like this. When a storm comes, even the ocean pulls back. It goes quiet, deep, and still. That's not retreat. It's power gathering.
Walking away quietly isn't a breakdown. It's a strategy, a decision. It's you saying, I don't need to be seen right now. I need to see myself. It's about removing yourself from the chaos so you can hear your own thoughts again.
It's also deeply healing. Because when you stop explaining, stop defending, and stop performing for others, you return to yourself. You begin rebuilding from a place of truth instead of pressure.
And if you're learning English, use this quiet phase to talk to yourself in English. Seriously, narrate your thoughts, whisper them. The more you do it alone, the easier it gets with others.
And when you finally choose to walk away, the next fear hits. But what will people think? That's where most people hesitate. But here's the truth.
You don't. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing your peace. We're so conditioned to make others comfortable with our decisions, even when those decisions are meant to save us.
Absolutely. And sometimes the people you think need explanations don't really care. Or worse, they benefited from your confusion. Growth doesn't always come with a permission slip. Sometimes it comes with quiet exits.
You ever hear what Steve Jobs did after Apple pushed him out? He didn't beg. He didn't fight. He just disappeared. While the world moved on, He was quietly building Pixar and Next, projects that would eventually reshape the future. And when he came back, he didn't just return. He redefined the company. That's power. Quiet, focused power.
Mm-hmm. We're conditioned to think silence means weakness or hiding. But sometimes silence means boundaries. It means protecting your energy while you build something better.
So, if you're pulling back from old friends, old habits, or even your old self, you don't have to explain it to anyone. Just move quietly, intentionally, and trust that the right people won't need a reason.
And once you've stepped back and cut the noise, it's time to rebuild. But not in public, in private.
There's something incredibly powerful about disappearing from the online world, logging out, turning off notifications, choosing stillness over scroll.
I did that once, deleted every app on my phone for a month. At first, I felt lost. But then, I started hearing my own thoughts again. And honestly, that changed everything.
We live in a world that's addicted to being seen. But growth, real growth, it doesn't need an audience. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter while broke, depressed, and invisible to the world. Her story didn't begin on a stage. It began in a cafe with a notebook.
So if you're disappearing for a while to journal, to study, to sleep better, to breathe deeper, do it. Without needing likes or validation.
And here's the thing most people don't tell you. Transformation isn't just about building something new. It's also about letting go of what no longer fits. And sometimes that means letting an old version of yourself quietly fade away.
Right. Not every part of you is meant to go with you into the next chapter. Some habits, some mindsets, some ways you used to cope. They served a purpose, but they've expired. And instead of forcing them to stay, it's okay to let them go without a funeral.
Growth often feels like grief. You're mourning a version of yourself that maybe even kept you safe at one point. But holding on to that outdated identity will only slow your evolution. Letting go in silence, that's where rebirth begins.
And it doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't need a big announcement that you've changed. Just change, quietly, consistently. Let the results speak. Let the silence do the talking.
And if you've outgrown old learning methods, don't be afraid to drop them. Maybe grammar drills used to help, but now you need real conversation. Let go of what's no longer serving your fluency journey.
But here's the part that catches most people off guard. When you start letting go, things get uncomfortable. The silence gets loud. The alone time gets messy.
And that's when most people run back. But if you sit with it, you grow through it.
Let's be honest. Being alone with yourself is hard. It forces you to face your thoughts, your fears, your patterns. There's no distraction, no applause. Just you and your truth. And truth isn't always pretty.
But here's the paradox. Discomfort is a doorway. On the other side of that emotional tension is clarity, healing, direction. But you have to sit in the stillness long enough to find it.
David Goggins, for example. He transformed his life not by shouting about change, but by isolating himself. Waking up at 4 a.m., training alone, facing every excuse in his mind, without anyone cheering him on. And that's how he built mental armor.
It's in solitude that you learn how to be your own motivator, your own validator. And once you do that, no one can shake you. Because you didn't grow in public. You grew in fire.
If you're afraid of speaking English alone, start there. Record your voice. Talk to yourself. It'll feel awkward, but it's the kind of discomfort that builds real fluency.
And when you've sat with the discomfort long enough, when you've done the work in silence, something incredible happens.
You don't just come back. You arrive.
You know that feeling when someone reappears in your life after months and they've changed so much, it leaves you speechless. That's what happens when you grow in private.
Exactly. When you stop broadcasting every step and start focusing on your process, your transformation becomes undeniable. People won't remember your silence. They'll remember your results.
It's the don't tell them, show them energy. You're not re-entering the world for applause. You're re-entering because you're ready. Because now, the version of you walking back into the room doesn't need permission to be powerful.
Let your glow up be spiritual. Let it be internal. Let it be so rooted that even if no one claps, you're still standing taller than ever.
Yeah, instead of telling people you're trying to improve your English, surprise them. Show up one day speaking with more confidence. You don't need to announce progress. Be the proof of it.
And speaking of progress, it's time for one of your favorite segments, Charlotte's Vocabulary Breakdown. She's going to walk you through some of the stronger words and phrases we used today so you can lock them into your memory and start using them with confidence.
Yep, don't worry if some words flew past you during the episode. Charlotte's here to break them down nice and easy. Let's go.
Hey friends, it's time to level up your English vocabulary. Let's go through some powerful words and phrases we used in today's episode. Vanish, meaning to disappear suddenly or completely. Example, the fog began to vanish as the sun came up. Recognize, meaning to identify or acknowledge something or someone. Example, I didn't recognize her after she changed her hairstyle. Roadmap, meaning a plan or guide that shows how to reach a goal. Example, he followed a clear roadmap to improve his health. Passive, meaning not actively participating or responding. Example, she remained passive during the discussion. Retreat, meaning to withdraw or move back, especially for rest or safety. Example, he took a weekend retreat in the mountains to relax. Strategy, meaning a careful plan for achieving a goal. Example, their business strategy helped them grow quickly. Owe, meaning to have a debt or obligation to give something to someone. Example, I owe you a big thank you for your help. Intentionally, meaning done on purpose, not by accident. Example, she intentionally avoided eye contact. Incredibly, meaning extremely or surprisingly. Example, that movie was incredibly inspiring. Stillness, meaning a state of being quiet and calm. Example, I enjoyed the stillness of the early morning. Validation, meaning the act of confirming someone's feelings or worth. Example, he constantly looked for validation from others. Mourning, meaning the expression of deep sadness, especially after loss. Example, she was in mourning after her grandmother passed away. Evolution, meaning the process of gradual change and growth. Example, his evolution as a speaker was impressive. Catch off guard, meaning to surprise someone unexpectedly. Example, the question caught me off guard during the interview. Applause, meaning the sound of people clapping to show approval. Example, the audience gave a loud applause after the performance. Solitude, meaning the state of being alone, often by choice. Example, she enjoyed her moments of solitude in nature. Speechless, meaning unable to speak due to shock or strong emotion. Example, I was speechless when I saw the surprise party. Undeniable, meaning clearly true or impossible to reject. Example, her talent is undeniable. Spiritual. Meaning, related to the soul, inner peace, or a deeper meaning of life. Example. Meditation helps her feel more spiritual and calm. That's it for today. Start using these words little by little in your own sentences. The more you use them, the more natural they'll feel. Back to you, Erin and Evan.
Thanks, Charlotte. That was super helpful, as always. And to everyone listening, remember this. Growth doesn't need an audience. Some of your biggest breakthroughs will happen in silence.
Exactly. So if you're in that season of disappearing, resetting, and rebuilding, stay there, trust it. The work you're doing now is shaping a version of you the world hasn't even met yet.
And don't forget, you can download today's free PDF from the description. It's packed with comprehension questions, grammar exercises, and everything we talked about, so you can practice English while building a stronger mindset.
Thanks for being with us today on the English Leap podcast. Keep growing quietly. Keep speaking confidently.
We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, keep moving, keep learning, and when the time is right,
Shock the world.